Our oceans hide some biggest mysteries of our world. It's one of the reasons why divers are fascinated with the bottom of the ocean. And it's due to their relentless submerging in the darkest depths of our seas that we've made some of the most bizarre discoveries. These span from shipwrecks that were deemed forever gone to entire submerged cities that we didn't even know about. Stay close to explore with us the 10 most exciting discoveries made by deep-sea divers. Number 10. Giant Anaconda. Some divers hope of discovering archaeological treasures. However, others have more of adrenaline-triggered wish to dive with sharks. The second category includes diver Bartolomeo Bove, a professional underwater videographer and shark diver. But coming face to face with the largest snake in the world was a special experience even for risk-taker Bove. And hear this on purpose, it appears that there is a specific place before Mosi River in Brazil where people going to swim with the anacondas. Normally, anacondas prefer murky waters, but for some reason, they also thrive in the crystal clear waters of this river, making it the perfect place to photograph the magnificent snake. The specimen found by Bove and his partner was particularly stunning, a 23-foot-long female of nearly 200 pounds. As it turns out, the female was actually curious and friendly, getting close to the divers and inspecting the camera before swimming away. Bove described the experience as unbelievable, adding no words can do justice to the sensations that he was really feeling. Number 9. The Lion City. We just arrived at the one of the exciting underwater discovery on our list, and this one tells a story of architectural mastery. The Lion City came under the attention of officials in China after realizing that 50 years had passed since the city sunk and left it completely intact. The crazy story about the Lion City is that it was submerged on purpose when the Chinese government decided to build a hydroelectric power station and they require a lake. Well, this story is not that popular at all. Today the city lies underserved in the Kandala Lake, with its houses, paved roads, arches, and temples like it was kept in the time capsule. The site of the once opulent city is now open to local tourists who want to dive around and wander after historical treasures, while it's a shame that such city had to be sunk. One can at least take solace in the fact that they can now visit an underwater museum. Number 8. The Aorus Cave. Cave exploration is one of the favorite activities for many divers. It takes places like the Aorus Cave to hook divers in an endless appreciation of the ocean. Deep in the bedrock underneath the Ural Mountains in Russia, this is one of the longest underwater caves we've ever discovered. But only does it offer hours and hours of exploration. The visibility here is one of the most pristine on the planet, matching the sinkholes of the Yucatan Peninsula. Don't just worry because you can't find any anacondas during around these waters. It seems that clarity is given by the gypsum rock which filters the water. It's also incredibly cold at only 4 degrees Celsius, making it suitable for dry suit diving only. Number 7. Yanagijima City Ruins. This is maybe one of the most fascinating underwater discoveries. The submerged city ruins of Yanagijima in Japan have been the subject of arduous debate. Far back in 1986, a local guy who first noticed the Yanagijima formations, leading to an endless conversation about their origin. One side of the argument is that they represent structures left behind by a vanished Pacific civilization called Mu. Divers have described and photographed various things resembling a sphinx, a pyramid castle ruins, 5 temples, and a large stadium, all connected by roads, water channels, and walls. And hear this, the ruins date back to at least 5,000 years ago. On the other hand, there's the argument that all the major features and structures of the place are nature-made. Just basic geology and a classic display of sandstone for an area with a lot of tectonic activity. Whichever side is right, the place remains a fascinating sight and continues to attract tourists and researchers from all around the world. Number 6. Gold treasure. Sometimes, diving feels like winning the lottery. That must have been a feeling of Zika Fayer and his team when they stumbled across a 2,000 gold coin treasure. The largest ever found in the region of Caesarea, Israel. Interestingly, when Zika had scuba dived in the area a lot of times before with no clue of the treasure that waited to be discovered. First, he saw a glimmer in the sound of the ocean floor, which had just been stirred up by the previous night's violent storm. He expected to find a discarded sweet wrapper like a chocolate coin, but instead, he found a real Arabic gold coin. Sweeping more and more side to side, Fayer found another coin and then another and another until he realized what he stumbled upon. Together with the Israeli Antiquities Authority, the divers recovered an entire long-lost treasure of 24-karat gold. It was later revealed that one single coin would cover a 1-month salary for a military soldier. So, the entire treasure could have been used to hire a 2,000-soldier army for a month. Number 5. Underwater river. If we were to pick only one unbelievable sight out of all, it would be this one. Divers were always aware of the strange things they can encounter below the water surface, even so no diver ever expected to find an underwater river. This seems like hardly plausible, but today, thanks to divers' explorations of the sinkholes of the Yucatan Peninsula, we know that underwater rivers do exist. The sinkholes were found to be full of treasures from Mayan artifacts to incredible caves. However, the most astounding phenomenon discovered in the Ciénaga Angelita sinkhole was the eerie underwater river hidden just 100 feet below. If you're wondering how the river was formed, this is what happened. It was created due to different densities of water. The first 30 meters are formed of fresh water, while the layer below contains hydrogen sulfide, which is heavier. When the two met, a cloudy phenomenon resembling fog is created, giving the river a magical appearance. That's the kind of discovery that shakes up everything we know about how the ecosystem works. Number 4. US fighter jets lost during World War II. Throughout the time, history has also benefited from underwater discoveries 76 years after the Operation Hailstone and assault of the Allied forces on a Japanese naval base during World War II. A team of researchers discovered former American fighter jets very deep underwater. It's not every day that you stumble across a warplane recalling of old wars. Project discovered two dive bombers and one Avenger at the Truk Lagoon in the Chunk state of Micronesia. But the battle losses include more than 50 Japanese ships and 230 aircraft, 30 of which were American. What's even crazier is how the project team found the fighter jets. To locate them amidst the coral and debris, the team used the story of an airplane gunner who remembered seeing a dive bomber fall while attacking a Japanese transport ship. It seems that it's usually difficult to spot aircraft underwater, as the expedition leader explains. When these aircraft crash into the water, they don't look like the aircraft anymore. Most of them are piles of metal vert that don't rise far off the bottom of the ocean. Number 3. The shipwreck of San Jose. For centuries, nobody knew anything about the San Jose galleon thought to be lost in the sea after it lost a battle in Cartagena, Colombia. It took modern deep-sea divers to uncover one of the most famous shipwrecks in the history. On November 2015, the ship was discovered with the assistance from a robotic submarine called Remus 6000 under the command of the U.S. Wood Hole Oceanographic Institute. The vehicle descended to an astonishing 6 kilometers deep, enough to discover the San Jose and take multiple photos of the galleon. Scientists managed to distinguish the ship by its special cannons bearing dolphin engagement. Why was the San Jose galleon so popular? To begin with, the Spanish galleon had disappeared into the Caribbean Sea after a battle with the British in 1708, taking with it 600 people and up to $20 billion worth of coins and jewels. The fascination with the shipwreck may have been intensified by the Nobel Prize winner and Colombian author Gabriel Garcia Marquez. He wrote about it in one of his famous books, Love in the Time of Cholera, stirring the imagination of millions of fans everywhere. Number 2. Thanos Heraclean. The question whether Atlantis, the mythical island lost under the seas, existed or not may never find an answer. But the existence of entire cities that we found no trace of on land have been elucidated thanks to deep diving. It stands to prove that after 1,000 years underwater and layers of sand, the city of Thanos had a clay on at the edge of ancient Egypt was revealed to the world. It was in the early 2000s that a group of divers randomly stumbled upon a large fragment of rock in the seabed. The first of 6 that would follow, it turned out that the pieces were part of the long-lost city because temple ruins, pottery, jewels, and other treasures were soon found in the same place. From here on, an entire project to uncover the city began, using a side-scan sonar as well as a nuclear magnetic resonance magnetometer to pinpoint the presence of large objects. The Thanos had a clear discovery is yet another testimony of today's technological advancement and human adaptation. And number 1, giant jellyfish. In yet another incredible encounter during deep diving, 2 divers came across the largest jellyfish ever photographed in the UK. Dan Abbott and Lizzie Daly were documenting marine encounters for a week and were supposed to film blue sharks when they accidentally met an even more humbling creature, a giant jellyfish. These gentle giants can grow to 35 kilograms with bills of almost 1 meter in diameter. Miss Daly later said she had a face in kelp when she looked back and noticed a jellyfish only by then getting closer did she realized how enormous the creature actually was. She was a little bit scared, but it turns out that the giant jellyfish are not actually considered dangerous with only a mild sting. They are indeed gentle giants. Which of these underwater sites are you dying to explore? Let us know in the comments below. And we will keep you updated in more discoveries, only here, in Genuine Archives channel.